The man led villagers in planning to build a prayer room for worshippers on the site of an abandoned church, but when the villagers inspected the foundation, they unearthed a metal plate beneath the soil layer. The man raised his hand and tapped it. The sensation made him realize there was an empty space beneath. He carefully cleared away the surrounding dust, and a metal handle suddenly appeared before his eyes. Yet due to its extreme age, the iron plate had rusted solid to its base. Only with lubricant did the villagers pry it free. A foul stench immediately wafted from the opening. The man picked up a stone and tossed it inside. Judging by the time it took to hit the bottom, the hole wasn't particularly deep, but the entrance was extremely narrow, far too small for an adult to squeeze through. The man scanned the crowd, and finally settled on a boy. Villagers then secured a rope around the child, and slowly lowered him into the hole. Upon reaching the bottom, the boy relayed the situation.
ما تخلعش راه ما كاين والو كيفاش يتحركوا.
But the very next second, the boy inside the cave suddenly fell silent. Then the rope was yanked into the hole by some force. The man urgently ordered villagers to widen the opening. Just as everyone was digging frantically to enlarge the hole, the village women arrived at the scene. Sonia suggested contacting the fire department for rescue, but Mike insisted they could save the child themselves. By then, the opening had been widened. With the villagers' combined effort, Sonia, Mike, and the boy's father entered the cave together. Inside lay an artificially excavated tunnel network, with crisscrossing passages. Following the tunnels, Sonia and Mike found a wooden door. As they opened it, Sonia suddenly heard a strange sound behind them. Mike stepped into the room beyond the door. By the faint light of his lighter, he carefully scanned the area but found nothing unusual. But when he turned around, Sonia was gone. After hearing the strange sound, Sonia followed it into another tunnel. She saw another door at the end of the tunnel, from which faint cries of a baby could be heard. She slowly approached the door and entered the room. Just as she began looking around, a sinister figure flashed before her eyes. Summoning her courage, she investigated but found nothing inside. She quickly exited the room. Meanwhile, while searching for his companion, Mike entered another tunnel. Along the way, he witnessed a bizarre scene. Several crows had appeared in the tunnel. They were pecking at a severed foot. Seeing this, Mike immediately extinguished his lighter. He closed his eyes and began praying fervently. When he opened his eyes again, the eerie scene had vanished. Sonia rushed over from behind him. Before she could speak, the boy's father's voice echoed through the cave. He had found his son, but the child was now unconscious. They rushed the boy to the hospital. Examinations revealed only allergic symptoms. Yet strangely, he had no memory of what happened in the cave. Still shaken, Sonia and Mike sat on a bench. Though they'd both witnessed inexplicable phenomena, neither could describe what they'd seen. But soon, the boy developed strange symptoms. Lying on the floor, his limbs convulsed uncontrollably. His family rushed him back to the hospital. Upon hearing the news, Mike arrived at the hospital. Spotting the drawing board on the cabinet, he immediately requested time alone with the child. Then Mike took off his coat, approached the child, and sniffed him carefully. He began reciting scripture into the boy's ear. Moments later, the boy reacted. Mike noticed the boy had been clenching his left hand tightly. He pressed down on the child's wrist with one hand, and pried open his clenched fist with the other. When the fingers were forced apart, Mike saw the palm of the boy's hand had turned black.